That's right. It's a Friday night in the fall, and there's football here at 5 News. We call that Football Friday Night. Now we got the semantics out of the way. Let's get to all the Week 2 action. Starts off down at Greenwood. They were supposed to play Northside. COVID-19 changed those plans. They get another 7A opponent as HAR-BER comes into town. Early on, Drew McClendon hits Ethan Fender. He gets annihilated by Colin Daggett. Big tackle there. And it's LD Richmond. He hits Chase Sprozier, spins out of one tackle, spins out of another, and goes down. To just set up this from the quarterback. Richmond takes it in, jump, spin into the end zone, 7-0 Greenwood. Now, this time, pass in the air. Ooh, that's the wrong team. Interception, Tatum Sadler. He takes it back a good ways, still 7-0 Bulldogs, and that ends up in another Greenwood touchdown. This time, LD Richmond looks deep, finds Peyton Carter going down the sideline. It's a leaping catch right here. That's called high pointing of football, folks. This time, the drive would end with the running back, Hunter Wilkinson. He takes it in for a touchdown. 21-0 Greenwood. This one just all Bulldogs, no Wildcats. Richmond hits Wilkinson. This time, he wouldn't quite get in the end zone. He gets to finish off the drive himself. It's 27-0 Greenwood at halftime. And then in the second half, Richmond again, this time to Luke Brewer. That makes it 33-0 Greenwood. And yeah, this one would not end up well for HAR-BER. They go into Greenwood, and Chris Young starts off his tenure as Greenwood football coach, 2-0, gets his first home victory in this one. Meanwhile, a huge 7A battle going down in the central section of the state tonight as the Purple Dogs of Fayetteville looking to avoid an 0-3 start as they head to North Little Rock. It's the home opener for those charging Wildcats. Casey Dick's bunch, though, looking to spoil it early on. Owen McCone, oh, that's not going to work. Tipped, picked off by the charging Wildcats. North Little Rock would end that drive in a punt, though. This time, McCone, he's going to go off his back foot, finds his man, Isaiah Satanega, and he goes down, and that leads to a score this time. They need this one, and Thomas Needy drills it through, sneaks it inside, just inside the right upright. 3-0 Purple Dogs. The game changes on this, though. You've heard of the Beast Quake. We'll call it the Charging Wildcat Quake. That's Fred O'Donnell. He shakes off a couple tacklers into the end zone for the touchdown. That makes it 7-3, and that would go on to be not quite a rout, but Fayetteville falls to 0-3 on the season with a 28-17 loss to North Little Rock. All that conference action, and we've got some inter-conference play coming up next between two teams that used to be conference opponents in Pea Ridge and Prairie Grove. Over the last decade, Pea Ridge and Prairie Grove firmly established themselves as two of the teams to beat in the 4A. Now, the Ridge is up to the 5A, but the battle of Blackhawks and Tigers continues. This time, it's non-conference action. Danny Absher and his longtime squad taking on Jeff Williams with his new squad. We'll pick things up in the third quarter. Prairie Grove rolling. Jackson Sorters takes the pass from Knox Laird, steps out of bounds, and now, well, the quarterback will get a chance to do it himself. Same drive, Knox Laird rolls to his right, looks downfield, no one quite there, gets a block from the receiver instead, takes the big hit, keeps hold of the football, though, and that would lead to some good things for the Grove. Grant Cades punches it in, and that gives the Tigers a 21-14 lead in the third quarter, and they'd grow that right here. Laird again, you see Jackson Sorters waves his arm in the end zone, he gets it, tiptoes in the back, 28-14 Tigers. Third quarter, Pea Ridge looking to make a comeback. Trevor Blair back of the end zone makes the catch, and it makes it 28-20. That comeback would not end up completed, though, as Prairie Grove holds off Pea Ridge 35-33. The Ridge is 0-3, while Prairie Grove jumps out to a 2-0 start. We'll head down to Ozark. The Hillbillies coming off a heartbreaker loss to Boonville, and they take on Clarksville. It's the first game of the season for the Panthers, who had to cancel due to COVID reasons, and it shows their first possession. Fumble, Ozark recovers. Right away, Harper Falconberry, diving catch. Kirsten Dunning, 6-0 Ozark. Hillbillies keep going. Falconberry keeps it himself. It's 18-0 Ozark at this point. Harper Falconberry again. Get used to that name. He tiptoes around some defenders and lowers his shoulder. That's not tiptoeing. 24-0 Ozark at halftime. Clarksville coming out of the gate hot, though, in the second half. Jalen Wright gets to the edge. No one in front of him. He's going to take that 50-plus yards for the score. 24-6 Ozark. But the Hillbillies, they had it all in this one. Jordan Cross untouched into the end zone for the touchdown. And Ozark rebounds from that loss last week. 32-12. Clarksville starts the season 0-1. Heading across the border now to Oklahoma. Oh, no, this is Prairie Grove. And coming in last week, this is the Battle of Highway 62. I can tell you right away, Prairie Grove won this one because this game happened last week. So let's take a look at the final score of Alma and Poteau. Poteau 47-10. Those defending Oklahoma State champions make quick work of a school across the border. Well, coming up next, we'll head to Little Rock for more 7A action, and then we'll venture across the border for a little bit more of that Arkansas versus Oklahoma school as well.
You're watching Football Friday Night!
Interconference action gives us some fun matchups that we don't get to see all the time, and that's what we've got tonight in Farmington, where Zach Clark and Springdale head to the new Cardinal Stadium for the first time. Of course, a lot of history between those two head coaches. Zach Clark actually played for Mike Adams back when he was at Fayetteville. Picked things up in the first quarter. Miles Harvey for the Cardinals. He takes a pass, gets a few yards, enough for a first down. And then in the second quarter, more Farmington. This time it's Ian Cartwright taking the direct snap, bouncing outside, breaks one, breaks another, and trips over the last tackler. Still a good run. Springdale, though, they'd bunch it in here. Gilberto Dominguez gets in the end zone. Springdale on top, 7-0. Then more Red Dogs. Andre Sparks, he's going to attach this pass, going to his right, gets out of bounds, enough for a first down. And then, well, we go back across to the Farmington side of things. This time it's Caden Elsick. He catches the screen, gets the blocks he needs, and one guy to beat. Gets past one guy. There was actually a lot of guys to beat, though. He gets dragged out of bounds, and this one would end in a Cardinal victory as Farmington rebounds from a loss in their rivalry game last week to take this one 14-7. Not a good night so far for the 7A West. That can all change here, though, as we head back to the central part of the state. Little Rock Central hosting Bentonville West. That's Dalton McDonald, fakes the handoff, goes right up the middle, looks back. That's because there's nothing but defenders behind him. Touchdown, Bentonville West. Central tries to answer, loss and gun, deep shot, incomplete. That's yellow on the field. Pass interference. That same drive, though, Central goes for it on fourth down. Bentonville West defense stops. No flags this time, and it's all Wolverines. McDonald with his arm this time goes across the middle. And then once again, Dalton McDonald, the Bentonville West quarterback, struggled the last couple years, coming into his own here. He hits Landon Grigg for the score. It's 21-7 Wolverines. Then it finishes 35-13. Bentonville West gets the 7A West on the board with a victory tonight, a big one, as they take down Little Rock Central. And we'll close with a trip to West Fork as the Tigers host the Eagles of Paris. In the first quarter, Chase Watts fakes the handoff, takes himself. He points ahead. He's pointing out, calling out traffic for his blockers. There's the tiptoe along the sideline. Does a little dance, gets knocked out of bounds. That drive would end, though, when West Fork came up with a big fourth down stop, and the Tigers take that momentum onto their next drive. This time, it's Cash at the end zone. He gets stonewalled. That second effort was good enough to get in. That was 7-0 West Fork. Now it's 7-7. This time Chase Watts won't be denied for the quarterback keeper, and Paris takes down the West Fork Tigers 20-7. Big win for the Eagles as they stay undefeated. Well, that wraps up another Football Friday Night. As always, you missed a highlight or a score, be sure to head to our website, 5newsonline.com, and keep an eye out for Monday. That's when it's time to vote for Yarnell's sweetest play. And hey, you got a play you didn't see? Send me an email with a nomination. That's Football Friday Night for Week 2.